So this video is about abundance and fulfillment and what that actually really means in the root and how we all can come to experience that in our direct emotional experience. Here I really want to dive into the root of that and how we can solve that. It all comes down to doing and how we view that. Doing something most of the times is just linked to us wanting something. So we basically act because we want. And we just do things in order to get somewhere. It happens more or less automatically because we just learned that, from when we are really small, we just see people around us trying to live like that and live a happy lives from that mindset. But this mindset is a mindset of lack. And by acting from this intention that comes with this mindset of lack, everything just feels like a struggle. It feels hard. It feels like, you have to do so much to go somewhere. And then when you are finally there, you don't really feel fulfilled in the end. So this always keeps us from enjoying the way towards something and just remembering that we already got everything that we have. But this actually is the root of stress and fear. So you think you need a lot of things because in the first place, you are not being enough for yourself. So feeling abundant and fulfilled before actually seeing that in the circumstances of your life is controversial to most people because it's not what we learn, but this is exactly what we need to do and what we need to come to remember. So abundance basically means being full of yourself. We have got this infinite potential within us and we have access to that in every moment. If we put in the internal work, of course, that we become more conscious again of who we really are and what has been blocking us, and just experiencing our essence and have our stable anchor here also. And we are then on the way to manifesting that into our external reality. But we need to come there to this state in however means we can do that, because this is the root of fulfillment and happiness in your life. So we have this infinite potential, and this potential doesn't get lost just because for a moment, we don't try something or actively act towards something. It's way more important to focus internally than externally on whatever you want to experience. So the reason for that we always act externally and not see results that we want to have is because we create the reality in every second and every moment of our lives. So if we're not totally aligned with who we are, and this is not the patterns or the persona, I'm not talking about who you think you are and what you just repetitively do every day without thinking about it like an automat. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about who you really are. Then we are automatically creating that on the outside for us too. So we basically create everything that mirrors ourselves, which are obviously the things that we really want, that we love, that we enjoy, because they are on the same vibration. They are just a match to us. And that comes to us automatically then. So if you focus on staying aligned with yourself internally and staying authentic in your truth with yourself firstly, then there is practically no other possibility than for you to experiencing that, because you manifested it actively into your experience and you didn't do anything else for it than being yourself. So the root of living a truly fulfilled life, where you are loving yourself and feeling fulfilled by your own presence, so being full, feeling that you already have everything you need, is done by that. By just diving into that, diving into yourself. And whenever you get lost and stressed and you just realize that you're running for or from something, just remember that it is about you. Always come back to yourself. It is about how you feel. It is never about just the things that you do or anything externally, other people, or what someone expects from you or what you expect from yourself. No. Everything externally is just a symptom. Also, the things that you do and that you create, they are the last thing in the food chain, so to speak, of manifestation. They are the symptom, the last thing that shows up. And the things that really matter, they already happened before that. So the things that create what you want, or the things that you also create that you don't want, they happen already before that, internally. And for me, it's also really important here to say that you are never what you do. Don't identify with what you do. A lot of times we just think that, I am what I do. But it is never the same. You are never your actions, even if you're following your purpose and you feel really strongly that what you do is you because it is so close. But still, it is never the same. Everything that you do on the outside is just an expression of your own existence. Of course, when you, for example, you follow your purpose, you feel a lot more aligned with who you are and you tend to identify then more with that, which is also a trap, because then you just think that when something doesn't work out or when you are resting or something, when you're not doing what you love so much and what you feel that you are here for, then you lose the sense of who you are again, or you just start again to doubt who you really are. So you can compare this basically, if you want to have a metaphor for that, to what you are speaking. You are also not the words you say. They are also just a product of your current state of being, let's say, so which includes your thoughts at this moment also and your emotions. So when you realize that you exist just for the sake of your existence, and this is how it is meant, and this is what you need to come to realize, then you will also realize that everything that you do on the outside is just an expression of that. And the more you shed everything that is blocking you from expressing yourself authentically in every moment, not for the sake of something, but just for the sake of yourself, then you are just freeing yourself and coming into alignment naturally. Acting is just supposed to be your soul showing and expressing itself naturally in a flow state, so to speak, and not a want state. It's supposed to be expressing itself in order to express itself, to enjoy sharing its own fulfillment with the earth and all the other beings around us. This is what abundance is. It is this state of being, naturally overflowing with your own existence, because you are so full of yourself that you are just naturally sharing that and giving that outwards, and other people are receiving that and reflecting that back to you. So this is how you manifest abundance. Because staying without conditions with yourself is the most abundant state that you can ever be in. This is basically what unconditional love is, towards yourself and life and the creator in the same time. Because when you honor yourself in that way, and you are just staying with yourself and enjoying yourself, loving yourself without conditions, you're sending out appreciation and honoring for that you are perfect just in the way that you were created, which we all are. We all are perfect in our essence. Everything that is blocking us, we picked it up and we identified with it. We integrated things that are not our own existence, that are not what we are. It's patterns, it's conditions. So logically, what is just keeping us from experiencing abundance and fulfillment with ourselves is this conditioning. And also the word, when you look at it, conditioning, it comes from conditions, which are the only thing that keep you from loving yourself unconditionally. And I know that this sounds so obvious, But when you observe yourself and your thoughts, you will realize that you have a million conditions towards yourself every single day. And I just want to raise your consciousness with this video towards these patterns, and that these are keeping you from self-love and from feeling abundant and from eventually experiencing that on the outside. And also, many people think about unconditional love as something that is meant for other people only. So that is practiced externally towards others as well. Something that you do. And especially in the twin flame community, this is one of the biggest things that disturbs me, that this community is fueling this thought form. So you can only give unconditional love by being in that state internally. And also then it's just a natural expression of your soul vibration and never something you want to do or you want to give. It is never something that actively you want to give and therefore you do it. This is not how it's working. You need to be in the soul vibration first, and then it is naturally happening because you are that, you are being that, you are embodying that unconditional love. Everything else is a condition that is the opposite of unconditional. So again, unconditional love is a state of being, and it is not an action. So basically anything that you wish for in your life, love, relationships, anything, happiness, money, purpose, it's linked to that state and how much you are aligned with it right now. That doesn't mean that you can't experience these things to some extent before you're completely aligned with that. But it means that the degree of how often and how deeply you feel fulfilled is always a direct reflection of your own situation. And you might say now, okay, so am I supposed to live like a monk and meditate all day? No, this is not what I'm saying. But when we are active, it is about from which state we come from. Doing things is never the problem. It is the conditioning of which we are doing things. So the doing is always bound to conditions because we want something. And you apply these conditions to yourself. So you do something in order to reach something, in order for you to be happy with yourself. And when really it's supposed to be the other way around, you being happy and full with yourself, and from that state expressing yourself, and you set your anchor within and stick to feeling your own presence consciously instead of falling trapped in the goals. And this happens so easily with everyone because we all dream of things. And even if our alignment is really high, we fall trapped to our own goals because then it's the goals of the purpose or the goal of the passion, anything. But the truth is you don't need goals. Everything unfolds naturally when you just are who you are and you express that. One of the things that we forgot, in my opinion, is how to trust and to be patient. And this is the biggest blockage, the biggest roadblock in this topic, that we take our power back in its original purpose, which is creating from the inside to the outside. Not forcing, controlling, doubting, and stressing. This is not power. This is fear. So no matter what you do, always come back to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself, that you are not there or that you're having these patterns. Take this video or this podcast for you to always take yourself back to yourself. And I mean to your true self, the one without conditions. You are pure light. You are a free spirit. The conditions were just imposed upon you. And it is our purpose also in this life here on planet Earth to realize these patterns and to shed them so we can come into our natural existence again, into this free spirit that we actually are. Then you will just experience more than what you ever dreamt of actually. And that you were so hard trying to do, these things will just come true naturally. You just need to be open and receiving, always coming back to yourself and just enjoying your own presence. And feeling abundant inside and doing everything that you need for you to get there. And I know again that it's easier said than done. Just take yourself back every time you notice that, again, I was lost in something. Again, I was running after something. Again, I was doing and trying to force something. Lean back and say, okay, where am I? Am I staying with myself right now? Am I fulfilled with myself right now? Or am I just in my mind, in the future, somewhere else, not connecting to myself in this moment? So I'm wishing you a lot of love and light. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'm new on YouTube and I appreciate it a lot. So see you next time. Bye bye.